With the penultimate episode of the show recently being released, we're now awaiting the season finale to be aired. 1923 has been an interesting and engaging show and has had multiple different arcs going on, but the one with the main focus has been the story that's been centered around the Dutton Ranch and the threats that have been surrounding it. With only a few days to go until the season finale, I thought I'd break down and explain what I think is going to happen, how the show is going to end, and also share my other theories and predictions for the characters. So let's get into it. Here is 1923 episode 8 Theories and Predictions Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Let's start by looking at Jacob Dutton. Throughout episode 7 of the show, we saw that Jacob Dutton got what he and his family wanted, and that was to see Banner behind bars. However, with Whitfield looking as though he's going to be able to bribe the judge and get him out of jail, I think once Banner gets out, he's going to be heading straight to the Dutton Ranch in order to get revenge one final time, and also aim to finish the job off. This will mean that we'll most likely see Jacob Dutton involved in a range war again and a battle that will be taking place, with Jacob knowing that Banner isn't necessarily the main problem for the family, but Whitfield is. I feel we've got a meeting between the pair coming, something that's been on the cards for a while. When Whitfield and Jacob get in a room together, I think it's going to be a great conversation that we're going to see unfold. Jacob and Whitfield are two of the same people in the industry that they work in, so they're extremely similar. However, their viewpoints put them at opposite sides of the fence and against each other, so the rivalry is strong. I think Whitfield will try to smoke out the Duttons further, but I don't think he'll be successful in doing so, meaning that their story will continue into season 2. Spencer and Alex. Spencer and Alex finished off the last episode in Italy after being rescued from the captain of a ship that was heading in that direction. We saw that Spencer's demons that he had buried within him were starting to come to the forefront more now that they were on land and in a safer environment, a place where it seemed as though nothing was able to cause any kind of distraction. With it being multiple months since he received a letter about Jacob being injured and his brother being gone, I feel like we're going to see them arrive at the Dutton Ranch in the season finale. At least I hope so. There were a lot of theories going around about Alex potentially contracting tuberculosis following on from episode 6 of the show when she was on the boat, but I don't think that's the case as she didn't show any signs of it in the most recent episode. I'd like to think that when Spencer does arrive back at the Dutton Ranch, we'll see him face off with Banner and get his revenge for him killing his brother and injuring his uncle. That's what I hope we see anyway, and it definitely feels as though the show's been building towards that rivalry. With Alex's former fiancée arriving at the hotel in Italy during the closing moments of the most recent episode, it does make me wonder what's going to happen there. I don't think much will happen and it will just be a minor inconvenience for Alex and Spencer. The only thing that makes me think otherwise is the fact that they're extremely wealthy, so they could potentially use their money against Spencer. The Mafia were mentioned at one point in the episode as well, so I do wonder if they will end up putting a hit out on Spencer in order to seek revenge. But that could be a little far-fetched. I hope we don't spend that much time in Italy and we actually get to see them go to Montana. Donald Whitfield and Banner. With Banner being arrested and it looking as though Whitfield was going to be able to get him out of jail by bribing the judge, I do wonder what this means for the pair. Whitfield looked concerned over the fact that Banner was going to speak to the authorities, and with Whitfield originally threatening Banner with the most brutal of punishments to himself and his family if he crossed him, I wonder if we'll see a side to Banner that we got a small glimpse of when he was speaking with the women inside of his house. I feel this story with Donald Whitfield is only just getting started, as realistically we didn't get introduced to the character until episode 4. And with his plans being to get rid of the Duttons, acquire the surrounding ranches and build a modernized city, I think we'll see this project going into season 2 of the show. If Whitfield doesn't harm Banner in this episode, then I feel Banner is definitely going to be meeting his final day in another way. It will come at the hands of a Dutton, with him most likely looking to attack the Duttons at their ranch following him being arrested. I think this could mean that we'll see Jake, Jack, or Spencer take him out. Jack and Elizabeth. Jack and Elizabeth have been the two main characters that we've seen the least throughout the show from the Dutton family. Jack has been fighting to show that he's good enough to be a frontrunner in the family, and I think that very thing is going to be the death of him in the season finale. We had a couple of hints in the previous episode where it looked as though it was lining up for him to be harmed. For example, Elizabeth was concerned over his safety. Banner mentioned to Jack how he escaped death twice and that he won't a third, and as well, after Elizabeth greeted Jack upon him returning, He said that he'd love to know what it would be like if he was gone for a week, to which Elizabeth said, "You'll never be gone for a week." With the dialogue being spoken, focusing on him not being around, I think we could see him be taken out by Banner or by the livestock ranger that he was suspicious of when he was being hired in episode 6 of the show. With Elizabeth being pregnant, that secures the family line, meaning that the Dutton family tree will still be able to continue on if he does die. I originally thought something bad was going to happen to Elizabeth or the baby, but now I'm pretty certain that it's going to be Jack. Teonna Rainwater. Teonna has definitely had the most emotional and traumatic story of the show so far, and that's even with the Duttons losing family members and also being harmed themselves. With the priests gaining ground on her in the previous episode and them sadly killing Hank whilst he was trying to protect her, I think we're going to see Teonna move on from the location that she was at, as I imagine she may fear that more could be on the way. With her not knowing that Hank's son and her father were returning, I believe they will just miss her slightly, so she will continue to be in a lot of danger as she'll be exposed and on her own again. I hope that we do see Tionna's father and Hank's son find her, because I would like to see the father of the boarding school and the sheriff get what's coming to them. I doubt we'll see it in the season finale, as I feel there's more to see from the boarding school and the corruption of the authorities, but I believe the Father's Day will definitely be coming. I believe this season will end in some kind of cliffhanger. I think we'll see Jack die and Banner also not make it as well. As much as I want Spencer to return before the end of the episode, I feel we could see the season finish with himself and Alex arriving back at the Dutton ranch, as the family attending to a Jack that is dying after being injured. I've really enjoyed this season of the show, and it came at the right time, just as the mid-season finale of Yellowstone hit, and I think it's shown that the prequels to the main show do definitely hold some weight and compete with Yellowstone itself, as Season 5 has been quite slow and stale, whereas 1923 has been filled with action, provided a compelling story, and shown that there's a lot at stake. I just hope that the season finale can live up to the rest of the previous episodes, and also set up a season 2 that we're all hoping is going to be on the horizon. So, there you have it, 1923 episode 8, Theories and Predictions Explained. If you want to see more videos such as Endings Explained, Theories and Predictions, and Character Breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @brainpilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest releases that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think is going to happen? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.